Doug from the D Music Reviews account, and I'm here to do my second review, this time from the band Orphaned Land. Now, if you've never heard of them, they're quite a large band to come out of Islam, unbelievably, and their lyrical themes basically resolve around Abrahamic religions, that being Christianity, Islam and Judaism. They were formed back in 1991. They began under the name Resurrection, but again, as you can see, they have turned into Orphaned Land. Since their beginning, since their creation, you could say, they have had 4 studio albums and about 5 different splits with different bands. And they're possibly one of the best bands I've ever heard before in my life. Now, the album I'm going to be reviewing is Mabool, which was their second album release. Not second, in fact. I think it was actually their third. I'm right again. Their third. It actually took 8 years to produce. It was released in 2004, 8 years after their last album, El Nora Alayla. Now you're probably sitting there thinking, 8 years. Is that because it took 8 years, so they put so much into it, so it was so good and it was amazing and it had everything you could want? Or is that 8 years because they were so sloppy and had to keep redoing it and were so lazy? It took them 8 years to actually fully produce and release this album. Well, the last statement is definitely very, very far from the truth. Orphaned Land have not at all been at all lazy or stupid, or they've not slacked in anything they've done in this album. This is one of the best albums I have ever heard, and that's a really hard thing to say. I'm even going as far as saying it's even better than Blind Guardian. It hurts me to say that, but it has to be the truth. Mabool, it tells the story of the beginning of Christianity, Judaism and Islam, and all the way up to Noah's Ark, mainly because the last 4 songs are about Noah's Ark, which is how I can tell that, but there's probably a deeper meaning there which I'm going to discover. Now, from the very first song you can tell this is going to be a very serious, a very meaningful and a very good album, with the birth of the free, the unification. The vocals on this album are unbelievable. You have growls, you have snarls, well, not exactly snarls. You've got the deep vocals, you've got light vocals, high pitches, and just average speaking vocals. You've got women's vocals, backing vocals, chants, everything you could want. All the vocals are there, and they're all absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. The vocals alone put me in a mood of calmness, but also I'm fully aware of the lyrics and everything that's being said. I was actually speaking to Quadruple Play about this album because he's possibly Orphaned Land's biggest fan, and he was saying that Orphaned Land were very smart with this album. Most bands you'll see start from they start from the start and they work their way down to the finish. Orphaned Land plan out their music, and then they find that they work out where to put different growls, different vocals, when to put in different chants, different drum beats. They make their album up. They make each song up. Rather than just going straight down, they place it in parts. And it's done very, very smartly, because that produces the best quality and the best sound you will hear. Now, Mabool and pretty much most of Orphaned Land's albums have a very cultural influence. For this, you'll see a lot of Islamic lyrics, foreign lyrics. You won't be able to understand what it says, but you can tell just by listening to it. It's very meaningful, and it probably has something to do with religion. Islam being a very largely religiously influenced place. You'll hear the women vocals singing in Islam. You'll hear little girls on the streets singing in Islam. What they're singing, you don't know, but you know it's something big. The drums, the guitars, everything on this album is absolutely amazing. Not only is it meaningful and it's inspiring, like it's inspiring me to check out Christianity even more and delve even deeper into the band, but it's really good to listen to. You can sit there and you can just be, it's fantastic that they can make you feel a lot of different things, and that's one thing I really love about them. They're quite atmospheric. I say that. They quite are atmospheric to me, probably not to anybody else, but they really did make me feel like I was standing in their shoes. For instance, in some of the last songs, they would use environmental sounds. You could hear the storm and the rain from Noah's Ark as the water begins to fill. and you could just sort of imagine yourself as there's sort of a violin in the background. At least I think it was a violin. It's probably some sort of, you know, cultural instrument. I could imagine myself standing on the top of the ship looking up at the rain falling down around me, and I was thinking, wow, you know, this music can do a lot to you, and I'm not even on drugs. And I'm Scottish, so that's very surprising. But, you know, Mabool, it's one of the best albums I've ever heard. It's very influential, it's very cultural, and it's very inspiring. And I really do think you can check it out. You can check it out. I really think you should check it out, excuse me. This hasn't been the best review because honestly, nothing I say can really sum up, not even closely sum up, how great this album is, how great the band is, and how much it means, how awesome it is. So all you have to do is take my word for this and go out, buy the album, and become inspired. Find religion if you want. If not, then buy the album anyway, because it's really, really good music and it's something you'll really enjoy. Obviously some of you won't. If not, that's fine, but I really recommend you do check them out and find out for yourself. This has been Doug with my second music review. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again soon.